What's going on, guys? Pat here, and in today's video we are going to be discussing the full setup on my car. So lately I've been getting a lot of questions about certain mechanical aspects of the car, whether it be what radiator am I running, what rear control arms are running, shocks, things like that. So I figured I'd put together a quick video just kind of going over the current mechanical setup. Some things will change throughout this year and definitely more parts will change in the future, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what I'm running right now and most likely what I'm going to run for the near future. So here at the front of the car we have the 463 big block Oldsmobile. I've already done a full video going over this setup, so if you want to learn more about this engine combination, I'll link that video up above. But one thing I didn't talk about really in that video was the exhaust system. It's a Hooker Super Comp header, which is actually off of my dad's 1967 442, which I'll be making a video on very shortly, so stay tuned for that. And this feeds into a Pipes 2.5-inch exhaust system. It's their X pipe with their Violators mufflers. I really like how they sound. A little on the loud side, but I think it's part of the fun of the car. Up at the front here with the radiator, I'm running a Durali dual fan setup, which is shrouded. Don't know the CFM off the top of my head. If I can figure that out or find it online, I'll put it in the video. And then a Be Cool big 2-core radiator. This setup's awesome. I've been running this for about 3 years on the car now, and car runs cool in traffic, runs cool on hot days, stays cool at the track. It's overall an awesome setup, and if you're looking to keep your muscle car cool, highly recommend doing a setup similar to this. Doesn't have to be these exact brands, but any sort of dual electric fan shrouded setup on a nice aluminum radiator is a must-have for any car you're going to be driving often and driving hard. So over here you will see my Tilton Engineering master cylinder setup. These are attached to their 600 series Firewall mounted pedal assembly. The master cylinder here is for the front brakes. It is 7/8 bore size. The one in the middle is for the rear brakes, also 7/8 bore size. And then this one is for the hydraulic throwout bearing, and that is a 13/16 bore size. I really like this setup. Obviously, it was a lot of work to get installed between the bracing under the dash, and you can see all the Firewall work. Basically, everything from where the throttle cable is over is all custom. Over here you'll see an All-Star Performance Firewall adapter plate, a Flaming River chromoly U-joint, a Summit Racing 3/4 inch double D steering shaft, and that comes down to another Flaming River U-joint. This is polished stainless steel because they didn't make the chromoly version in this size. Then over here is a PSC 12:1 steering box. It's zinc plated. It's from their Pro Touring line of boxes. I really like it. It's a good ratio for the street and the track. I mean, sometimes I wish I had a 10:1, but overall it's a good box. So here in the front you can see the upper control arms for my front suspension kit. The kit itself is the UMI Performance Corner Max. You can see here it's nice. The control arms have the rod ends on the ends, which means you don't have to use shims in certain scenarios when aligning it. I had to, but it's nice to have that flexibility that you don't have to use shims in certain cases. Here you can see the adjustment knob for the included coilover in that kit. It's a single way adjustable AFCO coilover. I believe it's Strano valved. It's adjustable and rebound, and included in the kit is an 850 inch-pound Hyperco spring, which is a good starting point. I believe UMI runs 1100 inch-pounds on their Camaro. I don't know about the Le Mans, but 850 inch-pounds is a good starting point. At Lime Rock, the car felt good. I didn't really feel like I needed a stiffer spring, but we'll see in the future if that changes and I need to swap that out. Down here, you can see the lower control arms from the kit. It's a single shear mount for the coilover. This is UMI's little mounting system that came up with the coilovers, which is cool. I don't use it that much because I'm not pulling coilovers off the car all that often, but it's nice to have that flexibility if needed. You can see in here the bump steer kit. That's also included right on the tie rod end, which has made a big difference. The car doesn't bump steer at all anymore. And then the included sway bar with the Corner Max kit. Now the wheels and tires are the same as what they were in my wheel and tire video, which is an 18x11 inch squared setup, 6 inches of back spacing front and rear. The Rocket Racing Hypershot Attacks, attack being the wheel and then Hypershot being the finish, which is a sort of gunmetal center with the machined outer here. Awesome wheel and tire combo so far. The tires are BF Goodrich Rival S 1.5s and a 315/30/18 square. In here you can see the brakes. These are Willwood Forged Narrow Super Lights. It's a 14-inch rotor, 2-piece rotor with a 6-piston caliper. If you guys followed along on the build series, you would see that I changed this over from the original kit, which was a 12.88-inch rotor that was one piece. You can get all the parts from Willwood to convert because the kits aren't too different when you step up in rotor size, which has been good so far. I'm happy with it. And you can see the ARP studs in there. These are, I believe, 1/2 inch 13, I want to say, for thread pitch, either 1/2 inch 13 or 1/2 inch 20. And these are about 3.5 inches long. So it gives you good thread engagement when you're running a wheel with a thicker hub like these are. So here in the rear of the car, you'll see another Willwood kit. Because I'm running an Oldsmobeast rear end, I'm pretty limited on what kits are available. This is a Willwood Dynalite kit. It's a 4-piston caliper and then a 12-inch rotor, or just over 12-inch, I believe. There's actually only 2 brake kits available for this rear end, and this was one of the 2, and this is the bigger rotor of the 2. I don't mind not having a huge rotor in the back, especially with the engine braking on this car and the ability to adjust the brake bias. I haven't really missed having a bigger setup. I mean, even if you guys watch the Lime Rock test video, you see that I had no problem overpowering the rear wheels with the brake. So it's a good setup for now. Maybe I'll change it if I go to a floater rear end, but I haven't really seen the need to change anything, so I'm not going to change it anytime soon. Here we are onto the back side of the car. You'll see an Oldsmobeast 10-bolt rear end with a 373 posi center section and stock axles. We'd put this under the car when I was in high school to get rid of the 256 open diff that was in it. I didn't really plan on having a track car. I was going to beat on at the time. I just wanted a fun cruiser, and this rear end fulfilled that. It's going to get replaced with a cambered floater from Strange at some point in the next year, but I'm going to keep running this until it breaks. It's served well. It's been handling the abuse so far, but I don't think it's going to last long term, so I'm probably going to change it out. The rear suspension is all UMI performance back here as well. It's their non-adjustable tubular control arms, upper and lower. Again, put this stuff in the car when I was in high school and wasn't really looking for anything too crazy. Their bolt-in sway bars back here as well. This is all going to be getting changed out for a little more track-friendly setup, which I'll go over in a future video, but this is what's in the car for now, and it'll probably be in there for the next couple of months. The gas tank back here is a drop-in unit from Holley, which is really nice. It goes well with any of their EFI systems. I'm running it with the Sniper system. It's a factory-style tank, but it's baffled, which is good, so you don't have fuel starve when you're cornering or braking or accelerating, which is a must-have on a pro touring car. And this also has a drop-in sending unit and pump that works with their Sniper system. So it's a nice all-in-one to just drop in if you're running one of their fuel injection systems. Hiding up here, you'll see some of my solid body bushings that I made. These are from my company, Gorham Performance Engineering. I put these in to replace the factory rubber bushings to make the connection between the frame and body a lot more rigid than it was. Chassis dynamics are much better with these in the car, and you don't really see an increase in vibration, noise. It's not too rigid, anything like that. So it's been a good upgrade. I'm very happy with how these have turned out. Like I said, designed these from scratch, and it's been a great addition to the car, and it's helped bring a little more performance out of it. All right, so here we are in the interior. The first thing you'll probably notice is the steering wheel. It's the first thing that really jumps out. This is a Momo Mod 07 wrapped in leather. I put this on the car probably about 4 years ago now. I thought about doing the Alcantara one, but those get pretty beat up, especially if you drive with bare hands and you don't wear gloves all the time. Just the oils from your hands will destroy it. And since I drive this a lot on the street and just bare hands in general, I just went with the leather because it was a little more durable. Overall, I like the steering wheel. It feels a little small in the hands, but the diameter is nice. And I prefer this much more over the feel of the stock steering wheel. Behind that, you will see a Holley, I believe it's a 7-inch digital dash. This is one of their first generation ones. I know they have newer ones out there, but I've always been a fan of these. It's worked well. It's been great for the data acquisition. I can data log, I can customize whatever gauges I want on there. And I have that paired with the handheld for the Sniper, and above that is the LED shift light. Overall, it's been a really nice setup. It gives me a lot of information all at once, more than honestly I could ever read. Yeah, it's great for what I do. Back here, you will see a sweet manufacturing steering column. This is their 22.5 to 32-inch collapsible column. Super bare bones, basic. It's literally just like a steel shaft through a Heim joint. It's nice that it has the quick release on it. It helps getting in and out of the car. Downside is I can't mount turn signal on it. You'll see my turn signals now in the dash over here, but it's nice. What's cool is that fully extended, it's at the length of a factory column. So I was actually able to bring this in towards the dash a little bit, which helps because I'm a pretty tall guy, pretty long arms, so it's nice to get the steering wheel a little further away from me. Down here you'll see the tilt and pedals. This has been one of my favorite changes I've made to the car. You can see the grip tape's already coming off a little bit, which is fine because it's replaceable. This has been huge in pedal location and changing everything over. I knew with manual swapping the car I was going to have to change the pedal setup, and I'm not really a huge fan of the factory style pedals. So I knew if I ever wanted to heel toe or really fit, because I have pretty big feet, that I was going to have to move the pedals around. And you can see space is pretty tight up under the dash. But we made it work, and these feel great. The ratios are nice with how they're set. It's nice that they're adjustable both depth-wise, and you can actually adjust the pedal ratio slightly. So overall, it was worth the effort in my opinion. It's been a great addition to the car. Back here, you'll see the Sparco seat. We put this in over the winter. It's an Evo QRT XL. Put it in there to replace the Corbeau CR1 that was in there. I wanted to go with something a little more race-oriented that had a little better bolstering. Obviously, you lose the ability to adjust since it's fixed back. So you're not as flexible with how the seating position is, but overall it's great. It's comfortable for what it is. It bolsters me well, and it fits in the car, which is good. It's a little snug against the roll bar, but made it work. Over here you'll see the Corbeau CR1. Originally I just put in the Sparco in the driver's seat to test it out. This has been a great street seat, super comfortable. It's not bad for like a car that's going to be on the street most of the time and see some track work, but I wanted something that was going to bolster me a little better and fit me a little more. So I'll probably end up swapping this over to the Sparco soon as well. Above that, you'll see a Competition Engineering roll bar. We really just put this in to mount a harness to. It's going to get replaced with a 10-point chromoly roll cage soon, but it served its purpose well. It's been taking a bit of a beating. You can see a lot of the paint's coming off over the door bar and starting to get surface rust from where I'm climbing in and out, but it served its purpose thus far, and we'll run it for the end of the year until we change it out. And here you will see the shifter poking up through the floor for the T56. I put this in over the winter as well, and this has been one of the best changes that I've made to the car. It's so much fun to drive. It's much better than the TH400 that was in there. It's really transformed the car. I've been driving it a ton. I've put more miles in it in the last 2 months than I have in the last 2 years. It's definitely transformed everything. Downside is I am not running a console anymore. You can see I still have to put the trim ring in on the floor there. And the carpet actually still has the holes for the console mount, so I need to put a new carpet in there. But overall, not too bad. Obviously, there's a few odds and ends that need to be buttoned up from the swap, like I was saying, but you can see a Summit Racing shift boot there, which is SFI rated. It's fire resistant. I don't know what the rating is off the top of my head, but looks good. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the white tag, but serves its purpose, and it's not bad. Now here in the factory glove box, you'll see it's not really a factory glove box anymore. It's actually kind of our electronics hub. I have my MSD6AL2 programmable ignition box over here, as well as the fuse block. When we rewired the car, we wanted to switch everything over away from the driver's side and put it all in one spot where we could just easily access all the electronics for A, diagnosing, but B, plugging in, checking over everything. It's a really convenient spot. You can just sit in the driver's seat and just kind of debug all the electronics versus trying to get up under the dash like it originally was. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to put together a quick video going over the current setup on the car. Like I said, it's not going to stay the same forever. Even throughout this year, I'm probably going to change some aspects of the setup. But I just wanted to put together a quick kind of overview of what's on the car right now and answer some of the questions that you guys had. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you have any questions about the parts I'm using or something I didn't go over in this video, feel free to leave a comment. And hopefully you guys will subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next one.